This is a big number this morning. There's a new poll that shows that 46% of Americans believe that the health care law will likely be repealed. And according to Rasmussen, 44% say they think that it is not likely. So a split leaning towards repeal in that by a slim margin. And meanwhile, Republicans have, of course, gained 11 gubernatorial seats in this election cycle. That is a lot. And many of the candidates promise that they will fight for the repeal of this overhaul of health care, or at least work, and this is maybe where we're going to end up with all of this, to weaken its implementation in their states, which is a very powerful tool for them, it turns out. So what does this mean for the future of this law? Judge Andrew Napolitano is our Fox News senior judicial analyst. Good morning, Judge. Always good to see you.
Pleasure to be here, Martha.
You know, there's been so much talk about the fact that, legislatively, in Washington, very difficult to repeal this, and that efforts to do so would probably be vetoed by the president. But these governors, we're finding out, have a tremendous amount of power in terms of how this is implemented in their state.
There's two parts of the health care law that have profoundly offended the American public. One is the individual mandate, the requirement that you buy health insurance. Right. That's being addressed by a variety of federal courts, even as we speak.
Challenges.
Correct. The other is a little bit more complicated. Question: can the Congress tell a state legislature to raise taxes and then how to spend those taxes? If the answer to that is yes, then Congress can commandeer, take over the sovereignty and independency of the decision-making power of those states. Now, fast forward to January 2011, when 34 states will be controlled by Republicans. At that point in time, those state legislatures can say to the Congress, we're not going to do it. We're not going to raise taxes. And if we do raise taxes, we're going to spend it how we think it should be spent, not how you tell us. That is a form of nullification. States refusing to obey a federal law when the federal law interferes with the internal sovereign operation of the state. That's what you'll see happen. A little bit here, a little bit there, before you realize it.
We've seen a lot of this, the funding pushed back to the states in terms of Medicare and Medicaid. So, all of the states have to fatten up their own coffers in order to cover those expenses.
Right.
And this is where they're saying, no, I mean, the power of the purse is very powerful. Look, when it comes to these disputes, is it not?
There's nothing the states hate more than what's called an unfunded mandate. Congress making them do something and not giving them the money for it, making them pay for it. So now you have 36 Republican governors who could very easily veto something from a state legislature that requires them to do what the Congress wants them to do.
I know you're going to stay on top of this, and we're going to follow it all the way through. Thank you, Judge.
Pleasure.
Always a pleasure to